Morning, Blake.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I guess as basic as possible. Does it actually feel like a game week now that it's here?
It does. It does feel like a game week. Once you get that like game week routine, like the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice, that we're into, and we start getting the scout teams and starting seeing the looks and watching, opponents film, that like kind of starts clicking that, it's ramping up and it's time to go. It's just a different mentality than camp, every single day you're getting after it. And now it's definitely more mental. I mean, the physical part's definitely there, with the practice, but most of it, you win in the meetings, and in the film study. And, that's where you really have to buckle down and kind of switch that mindset from less physical, more mental, but also like pushing and practice, making sure you get everything down. So it definitely feels like a game week for sure.
So what day are you on now? Because the calendar says Monday, but with the Thursday game, I figure you're a little further along in the week than we are.
Yeah, so today's technically a Wednesday practice. Because of last week, we kind of had like 2 Tuesdays, and then now this will be our second Wednesday. Then we'll have tomorrow would be our Thursday practice, and then obviously our Wednesday would be our travel like walkthrough day. So yeah, but we're getting in the routine for sure now.
You said you had 2 Tuesdays. Does that mean you doubled up on something you don't usually do?
I mean, I think it was just more situational stuff. We've been, how Coach Clausen just loves pounding that stuff into us, and we love doing it because, that's what, we've been so good at here is winning close games and being smart and winning situational football. So we've just been hammering, different types of situations, 3rd down, 2-minute, 4-minute, all different things that come into play in close games that, help our record this year, and will help our record because we can play some good people. We appreciate that, and that's what we've really been focusing on, other than getting ready. But we, as much as we can get other work in for now and even later in the season, the more we can do that, the better we're going to be. So we've been switching between that and just a normal practice. We've been a little bit shorter just because we've had 2 of them, so 2 days. But we also appreciate that because it's saving our legs, and Jason George and Coach Clausen are brilliant people, and they know how to keep us healthy, and that's what they're going to do. So
what have you seen from the film study that you've had so far from VMI? I mean, they return a pretty experienced defense, excuse me, with 2 of their top tacklers returning from last year, including the linebacker Snyder. What have you seen in your film study?
I mean, they're a good team. I mean, they play extremely hard, and they're disciplined. I mean, we're not going to treat them like any other team. They're a good team, and we're going to treat them, or you have to have respect for your opponent, and I think that's what we have. And we're going to prepare the same way every single day, and and that's just our plan. I mean, I feel like from watching their film, they're not the most complex, but what they do, they're good at. And as long as we do our jobs, and we execute what we have to do, and I think we'll be successful. But there can never be a mentality of passiveness, or that we're going to get by and we're going to beat these guys, because we have that mindset. You've seen Wisconsin, or you saw Nebraska, you saw Hawaii. That's what happens. And coach and our team, we're set on every single week preparing for prepare the same way every single day. And if we do that, we'll be successful. So we're not taking a day off. We treat ourselves like a 1-point underdog every single game, no matter who they play. But they are a good team, and they play hard, and they're competitive. So we're excited to play them.
Blake, did you stay up and watch the Vanderbilt game?
I did not. I saw the Vanderbilt game. I watched like the highlights of it like the next morning at breakfast. But yeah, I mean, Vanderbilt's a good team too. I mean, everyone's good. I mean, anytime you play, D1 football, like you can get beat any week, and it's all about your mindset. I mean, and that's like that's our slogan this year is mindset. It's like, if you think you're going to come out and beat someone and it's going to be easy, you're going to get beat. And that's what that's what's happening to these teams. They think they deserve to win. They don't. I mean, it's got to be earned. It's got to be earned in the practice. It's got to be earned, during the game. I mean, and if you don't do that, you're going to lose. So those are kind of wake up calls for us. I mean, I don't think we were worried about not showing up, but after seeing that, it's like, wow, like, anyone can get beat, and, that's not going to be us. We're going to show up and we're going to practice hard and prepare like, this is anyone.
Blake, it's obviously been a week and a half or so since we've been able to see any practice. How would you characterize the connection between starting quarterback Mitch Griffiths and the group of pass catchers that he'll be throwing to?
I think it's been good. I think that, as he gets involved more and more, that connection starts to grow stronger and stronger. I mean, I don't think there ever was a disconnect. But I think that, the more that we practice, the more that we are close knit, the better we get to know each other, the better we're going to be. I think Mitch is a great quarterback. He's doing a great job stepping in, for Sam, and he's doing a good job leading and playing ball and making good reads and making good passes. And, he's doing his job, and, we're all in support of him. The whole team's backing him, and that's what we have to do. So.
Blake, is there anything you can do from today until Thursday to kind of help that connection with Mitch grow a little bit faster before the opener?
I mean, I think, we always like to watch film together. And I think that, the more that everyone's on the same page and watching film, and it's not even that, just like hanging out and get to know each other. I mean, the brotherhood and that connection, is so much stronger than, trusting someone on the field. I mean, when you trust your brother and, you respect him and you love him as a teammate, that goes a long way when it comes to, in game and being on the field. So I just think that as we prepare together, we stay on the same page and we execute together, we see success together, in practice, and, against Wake versus Wake, good versus good. When we see that success together and we're working together, that's encouraging. I think everyone feels encouraged and excited. So.
That's all good with Blake?
Blake, one more if I can.
Yeah.
Sure.
You guys have had quite the stability at quarterback. I know you haven't been there for Dave Clawson's entire tenure, but you were in Winston-Salem at least. It's kind of gone from just John and Kendall to Sam and Jamie, and Mitch is kind of really the first new guy. Do you have a grasp on how rare that is when you look across the rest of college football, and how often that position is filled by a transfer, and just kind of an appreciation of the stability that Wake has enjoyed?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the type of program Clawson runs. It's a growth program. We don't get 5-star players here, 4 and 5 stars who come in and start freshman year. I mean, that's just the truth. We have smart guys who care about school, care about football, who are grinders and gritty, who are 3 stars, maybe didn't get the top offers, whatever, but they come in and they work hard and they will themselves to become good players. I think we can see that in every single player that we have in the NFL was maybe not the best player when they got here, but they willed themselves to be great players just through habits and having a great mindset and working hard and being good leaders. And that development is something Coach Clawson is so good at, and something that he pushes. And to be a part of this program, that has to be earned, that respect from your teammates that, you grinded it out and you paid your dues, and you've developed. And, whether you're a 1, 2, or 3, you have that respect for your teammates and you trust them because that, they've earned where they are. If they're a 2 right now, they've earned to be a 2. If they're a 1, they've earned to be a 1. And, as that next guy goes down and the next guy steps up, you have trust in that person, you have respect for that person, that they've earned that place. They're not just getting put in there because they're whoever they are or whatever. It's that they've earned that place. And I think that's different than in a lot of different programs, and having that respect and having that trust in your teammate, I think is what makes us so close and I think so going to be so good this year. So.
Thank you, Blake.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Blake.
Yep. Thank you guys. You guys have a good day.
And we'll open it up for questions as soon as you guys are ready.
Coby, how's it going?
It's going well. How about you all?
It's going good. Are you superstitious at all?
Sometimes I was a lot. Now I just threw it all out the window.
I ask because, like, is there anything that you can do to avoid an injury? I don't mean to like bring up a sour subject, but you just dealt with so many.
Nah, I understand it completely. But I tried everything, especially with those first 2 injuries. I was like, maybe it's the cleats I'm wearing, maybe it's the color of my undershirt, headband. I tried many different things in my preparation, but my preparation and routine is one of those things that I've tried to adapt. Just dealing with so many injuries.
What's like the biggest change other than, I guess, changing the color of your undershirt?
It's definitely been my diet, and then just having a routine for stretching every day before and post practice or post game.
I guess, Coby, to that effect, how hard was it to really sit on the sidelines throughout the majority of last year? I know it's kind of a family, you want people to do well, but how hard was it to be on the sidelines? And I mean, how do you use that for more motivation, I guess, going into this year?
I couldn't even put words on it, but it was tough, especially when you see so much success, especially from your brothers. And that's like when you know that most of those guys that you came in with have been contributing a lot to that success. And then this is this is their last year, so they'll be off. They'll be leaving. And you can't enjoy that with them. That's something that definitely was tough, but it's motivating me now because now I know what goes into that success and how to, be a leader, and how hard you have to work to get to those same, to have that same success in this season.
Coby, you hear from athletes who say they get to watch from the sidelines, they learn a lot. Were you able to learn a lot about the game or the defense from the sidelines last year?
Oh yeah, I've answered this question a lot already. And yes, I've learned so much from the sidelines each time that I'm injured. And then also you get to see from different perspectives. So it's not even always on the sidelines. Sometimes I could just watch the game film because I'm at home sometimes post-surgery, right after surgery. And you can see a lot more, from that camera and that angle. So it's definitely been helpful, just seeing some things from the sideline. But I think the best practice you can get is always on the field and doing it actually.
Coby, what's your take on VMI's offense? What have you seen so far in your game study that impresses you at all?
They're very disciplined, and then they get a line fast, just like our offense. They'll get a line fast when they get that first down, and then they'll push with tempo. That's very, very impressive.
Coby, what's the difference between playing nickel for Coach Lambert versus playing nickel last year?
Coach Lambert, I would categorize him as a very aggressive coach. So he's going to put you in those island situations, and he's going to blitz you a lot more. So, but it's been a lot of fun, and I love playing with him.
Every defensive back loves to blitz, right?
Yeah, it's fun getting those one-on-ones with those backs.
Coby, I know I asked you this kind of late in camp, but how's that safety room coming together, as more and more of the guys, actually make the field, and get out there and get a chance to contribute and be a part of the mix?
One thing I've noticed is that the bond off the field is amazing. I think this is the closest we've ever been as a group. And then on the field, I think there's a lot more playable guys, and they're very smart. Like each and every one of those guys, they all know what they're doing, and they have an awareness for the game that's unheard of, that I've never seen. That's like each and every one of them.
What do you think it is that made the bond a little bit stronger? Is it commiserating over having to spend time in the pit?
Oh, yeah, that could be one thing because we always are injured. There's a lot of us that have been injured. The only thing is with that we all been injured at different times, it seems like. So, but I think it carried on from last year. I think post-COVID, Coach Carson touches on this a lot, but post-COVID, you couldn't really get those relationships and build on those like you wanted to. So, in that 21 season, we really got to bond. It really started to form. And then this is when it really started to connect this year.
Coby, I know being at Wake Forest, you're kind of used to being the underdogs, the team that people don't really take that seriously. Facing a team like VMI that you guys are going to be favored, obviously this is a game that you guys are expected to win. What what do you want fans, what should fans like kind of look out to learn from these type of games? Like what, like from you guys, are you guys trying to work on different things? Is just staying healthy? What is your mindset kind of going in one of these types of games?
Well, I think, Blake touched on this also, but our approach to every game is going to be the same. So we're just going to go hard. So we're not really trying to change our playing style. So we're not trying to monitor healthiness and all that. But I think if we do get a fair enough league with just like with any game, we're going to try to put more guys in, see and assess our depth. So see who could play for us and see if we could just build that big lead.
Coby, you talked about watching the games and picking different things up and learning more from being on the sidelines. How about the passion part of it? Did you find yourself itching more every week to be back out there and then the off season too? Or did you start saying, I love football, there's a little bit more to life too, and I better get my grades where they, and do the other things as well?
I think early on I was like I was more on that side of maybe this is not meant for me. Maybe, I have to look at other things. Right when those injuries happened. But soon after, give it like 2 or 3 weeks, I'm itching again. I'm playing this. I played the most Madden I've ever had in my life just because I wanted to see, be involved in football some way. But yeah, I definitely was, especially going into that summer when you start to get the lift and you could start running again and all those things and lifting and doing all the movements. I was really itching.
You any good at Madden?
Oh, well, I'm the best on the team.
Undoubtedly.
Uh-huh.
Could you have beaten Greg when Greg was there?
Oh, yeah, I think I have beaten Greg. Don't tell him I said that, though.
You guys all good? All right, thanks, Coby.
All right.
Thanks, Coby.
Appreciate it.